Hello, we're going to visit today a little bit about the transition period that's coming on the horizon, on the very near horizon, starting May 1, 2011. Transition period runs from May 1, 2011 till April 30th, 2012. So a one-year time period for transition. But once you transition to managing broker, that transition period ends on April 30th, 2012, but your renewal period for your new managing broker license will end on April 30th, 2013. So that's important for you to know that. We'll get into the transition options here, but first I want to tell you a little bit about your availability of transition options. You have one. I'm assuming as I sit here today that you have at least a salesperson's license. If you're holding a salesperson's license today and your ultimate goal is to become a managing broker licensee, at this time you can only use one transition option to get a new license. In other words, if you go from salesperson to broker, you can use transition provisions to get that broker's license, and then you would have to meet the provisions set forth in the license law at section 5-28 to get your managing broker license. Now I'm going to talk to you about transitioning from salesperson license to the selling or non-managing broker type license. In that event, you have two options during the transition period. You can, option one, take a proficiency exam and pass that proficiency exam before March 15th, 2012. Once you pass that proficiency exam, you'll be in a position to apply for a broker license. That broker license needs to be renewed before April 30th, 2012. What does that mean for you as far as education? What that means for you, if you have taken the proficiency exam, is that you would owe some continuing education to renew your new broker license. The continuing education would be 18 hours required, because effectively your renewal period has been 3 years. If you began as a salesperson license, you renewed in 2009, and your new renewal date is in 2012. So there's a 3-year period there at the rate of 6 hours a year, 3 core, 3 elective per year. That translates to 18 hours of continuing education that would be due. 9 hours core, 9 hours elective. So that is what you would do for option number one to transition from salesperson to broker. It is important to note that there are no retake options for the proficiency exam. So now we're going to talk about option two. This would apply to you either if you have, unfortunately, failed the proficiency exam, or you've just elected to go straight to this option number two, and this is with hours included. Option number two includes a 30-hour course with an exam given at the end of the 30-hour course, and you would have to take and pass that exam before April 30th, 2012. What does this mean to you continuing education-wise? Well, you've taken the 30-hour course, so your education requirement is satisfied, and no additional CE will be required. Then, apply for a renewal of your new broker license before April 30th, 2012. Now we're going to talk about the fact if you're a broker licensee and you want to remain a selling or non-managing broker. This is your path of least resistance, if there is such a thing. If you are a broker and you're licensed on or before April 30th, 2011, and you will remain a broker, here's what you do. You successfully complete 12 hours of regular continuing education prior to April 30th, 2012. That'll be 6 core hours due, 6 elective hours due, and you renew your license before April 30th, 2012 as a broker. Okay, if you're a broker and you've been licensed on or before April 30th, 2011, and you're going to use the transition provisions to transition to managing broker licensure, these are your options. I would also note before we get into the options that if you are a sole proprietor broker, you will need your managing broker license. when you manage anyone from yourself to a larger office. If you are a managing broker, you're organized as a sole proprietor, you will need that managing broker license. Now let's talk about the options. Option number 1, there is a proficiency test option. If you take that proficiency exam and pass it, you will be in a position to apply for a managing broker license during that transition period. What education will you need? The education that you'll need is 18 hours of continuing education. Why 18? Because if you're a broker licensee, you renewed in 2010. Under the rules, your new renewal date for a managing broker license will be April 30th, 2013. So you can see there's a 3-year renewal period at the rate of 6 hours a year is 18. That would be 9 core, 9 elective. So you will have to do those 18 hours of regular CE. In addition, as a managing broker licensee, if you have taken the proficiency exam option, you will also owe a 12-hour broker management course to renew your license before April 30th, 2013. Before that renewal date, apply for your managing broker license. That's option 1. Okay, here's option number 2 for broker licensees transitioning to managing broker. This is for those folks who have either failed the proficiency exam, because you only get one shot at that, or who just elect to take the hours in the classroom to get that managing broker license. That option consists of a 45-hour course with an exam at the end prior to April 30th, to be completed prior to April 30th, 2012. You'd apply for that managing broker license, the license you transitioned to, before April 30th, 2012. If you take the 45-hour course and exam option and successfully complete that, you will not be required to do the 12-hour broker management component of education. You will be required to do 18 hours of regular CE, just like we discussed in option number 1, in order to renew April 30th, 2013. That is option number 2. That was just a summary of the very basic requirements in the transition period. If you have further questions, for further information, or for updates as they come available to IAR, go to www.iarlicenselaw.org.